Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And we're sitting here with the face that runs the place, the champ who runs the camp, the WWE World Champion, AJ Styles.
The phenomenal AJ Styles.
The phenomenal one. I'm sorry. How you doing, AJ?
I'm doing well.
Oh my goodness, we were brought out here by 2K Games to take a look at WWE 2K17. Now, we're older, and you're a bit on the...
Wait. When you say we're older, we're talking about all three of us, right? Because
I think we're all roughly the same age.
We're a ball about there, yeah.
So we're all in the same boat.
So when it comes to video games, you're probably in the same boat as us. Like, what do you remember? Like, were you a gamer growing up?
Of course. I got addicted, just much like you guys, around the age. I've always loved, video games. The Atari, I remember talking to my brother the other day and saying, the first game I ever seen flip was Pac-Man. And he was the one to do it.
Yeah.
The first game I flipped was Asteroids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then when the Nintendo came out and changed everything, I literally almost passed out when my parents got me the Nintendo Entertainment System. So it was a big deal, and still is to this day. I love video gaming.
My dad had Pong is? You know what Pong is?
Of course.
Yeah, my dad had one of those when he was growing up, and he took it out of the garage one day, and like within 10 minutes, of course I was like 12 at the time, within 10 minutes, I was better than him. So that's like my crowning achievement in life.
It's surprising how well kids do.
Because you have kids, right?
Yeah. And,
how old are they?
11, 9, 7, 1.
So those are right at the ages when they're the best at video games over everybody else.
I love playing with them. I want to be able to sit down and finish a game with them.
Right.
That's fun.
Yeah. Do they play the WWE games? This is the first one that you're.
This is the first one I'm a part of.
That's right.
Yeah. They do play. In fact, I have 2K16, even though I wasn't in it, unless you made me.
You're probably like the most created character in the game, I would imagine, because when you go to the created character, you're always like the first one.
Oh wow,
in
that's
the custom
really neat.
Characters. Yeah.
That's great though.
Yeah.
So my second oldest son, he really loves wrestling. So him and I would play it, and he would just take me to school.
Yeah.
I'm more of an Aki kind of guy.
Oh, that's our ballpark
wheelhouse.
too.
All during college, that's all we would play.
That's all is by far, when it comes to old school games, the easiest.
Yeah.
The one thing, me and Samoa Joe talk about this. Easy to play, hard to master.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Which of the Aki, specifically N64 games, is your favorite?
Virtual Pro Wrestling 2.
Oh,
we never played that.
We never played that.
That's like the holy grail for like people because
that's why I have,
that was only available in Japan, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's why I have 4 or 5 copies at my house.
Can you eBay one of those and just like send us an email link or something? I gotta get my hands on that.
We'll figure something out.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah. I definitely have a couple copies. I think I still have a copy in Japan that I need to get. Because I don't know if there's any left. Because I tried to grab everyone I saw.
My favorite still, I think yours too.
It's World Tour.
It's still the very first one. Is World Tour.
That was the one that I got hooked on first, and I was like blown away.
Yeah.
And to the point where I kind of ditched the 64 and went with the PlayStation, and then had to go back to the 64 because it was so great.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about wrestling because that's what we're like big.
That's what we're
big into. Because we came up like in sort of the video game like the games journalism industry, but then we switched over to just talking about pro wrestling, and we got a lot of people to sort of follow us that way. So like, I was really excited when you became world champion because and this isn't just blowing smoke up your butt, but whenever you're in a match with somebody else, like for example Roman Reigns, the two pay-per-view matches you had recently with him, best Roman Reigns matches I could think of maybe ever. Dean Ambrose, you brought him to one of the best matches ever. Dean Ambrose. Where in your career did you start formulating the ability to make the other guy look so much better along with you?
Well, I take pride in making that other guy look really good. I love to do that. I love to be the guy to make something small look bigger than it really is. And when it comes to Dean Ambrose and Roman, I sometimes I wonder if it was just a new matchup that got people very excited about what was happening rather than the fact that AJ Styles was just in there. It was just a new matchup they never thought they were going to see.
Right,
they finally got that. It was exciting.
Yeah.
Honestly, I couldn't believe how good Roman Reigns is. Like, that guy can go.
Oh, he was amazing.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. And when you see that sort of unlocked in somebody where you hadn't seen it before, it turns sort of a new leaf for that person, because now it's like, oh man, well, he had that kind of match with AJ. Who else can he have that kind of match with?
Yeah, and he certainly can have those kind of matches as well as Dean.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's about. I don't know when that, started happening with me, but I've always took pride in not only, trying, don't get me wrong, I'm going to try to steal the show on every match and stuff like that. That's just kind of the way I do things. It's either all or nothing with me. But, I don't know. I just enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
And so
That's
therefore,
obvious.
I want to make sure that everybody loves it and wants to be like, I want to wrestle that guy.
Yeah.
Which leads me to a question. Ever since you come to WWE, it's obvious that you are having a blast. You are obviously enjoying yourself every time you're on TV. Are you having as much fun as it looks?
I really am. Best place I've ever worked. There were times when I heard certain things that I was like, oh, crap. I don't know about the WWE. Maybe it's not for me. But when I got here, it wasn't what I expected. In fact, it was quite the opposite of what I expected. The roster was unbelievable. They treated me like, like family as soon as I got here.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. And I never look at myself as an old veteran. But I started to realize, wait a minute, these guys respect me, I think. Maybe that's why they're so nice to me.
Yeah.
They respect everything I've done. So it's much appreciated to come here and be respected by your peers.
Well, let's talk about a little bit when you got to the WWE. Unlike a lot of people, pretty much everybody now goes through NXT. Now, one of my favorite matches of all time, Wrestle Kingdom 10, you, Shinsuke Nakamura. He's the champion in NXT. You're the champ here. So I got two questions. Number one, is there any part of you that kind of thinks, man, I kind of wish I had that NXT experience just to see what that, like the Full Sail crowd is like? Or, I mean, the impact that you made coming in straight to the Royal Rumble was huge, and I think probably the best thing for you.
Yeah.
But is there any part of you that says, man, I kind of wish I had that NXT thing?
I'm on the main roster, baby. Don't get me wrong. Those guys are busting their tail and doing great things down there, and some of them deserve to be up on the main roster right now.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what they're working toward.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm SmackDown, world heavyweight champion.
It's hard to have any regrets with this thing, right?
You can't really top that.
Yeah, and I would say that the NXT to a certain degree reminds me of really a great time in the Indies where Ring of Honor was so great, and a lot of those guys that are NXT or whatever, it was Ring of Honor at the time or something. There's a lot of great things about it, and I know what that feels like.
You've been all over
that era,
exactly,
where there was the WWE and then there was the independents, and the independents were really strong.
Right.
And I believe not that NXT is an independent, because it's not, but there is that you're working to be part of the main roster.
Right.
There, a lot of your former rivals are in NXT these days, like Bobby Roode and Samoa Joe and Austin Aries and Eric Young. Who are you looking forward to facing on the main roster eventually?
Give me any of those guys. I would love to see Samoa Joe on the main roster sooner rather than later. I know what kind of match we are capable of having, and maybe I'm looking for the easy way out, because I know with any of those guys, it would be unbelievable. Sometimes it's not about the match that you're going to have. It's the story that you told to get to the match.
Right.
And that's what I'm looking forward to, because with all those guys you just named, I have a story with them already.
It just built in place, exactly.
Yeah.
So who do we have to talk to get Nakamura versus AJ Styles 2 so that we can see that at WrestleMania? Because WrestleMania is still 7 months out. That's a long ways out.
It is.
We need to get him to SmackDown, and we need to get him in some sort of number one contendership.
Well, listen.
Who do we have to talk to?
I don't know who we need to talk to, but we got to make sure that's you don't want to just bring that up out of the blue, and now we want to freaking tell everybody it's coming. Nakamura's coming.
That's true.
And you better tune in, because you don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
And trust me, when it happens, it's going to be unbelievable.
Oh, it's going to be huge. Last question. I've known this guy 20 years. We've been best friends for a very long time, right?
Does he want the side?
He won't, because he knows what's coming.
Oh,
he won't do this. He won't give me the too sweet.
Why not?
Now, number one, can I get a too sweet from you?
Yeah, man.
Look at that.
I stole this fair and square.
Iconic.
Finn Balor.
Yeah.
The club.
Yeah.
We stole this.
Yeah.
But then we've been given, permission.
Yeah.
That it's okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this, if you do me, then it's too sweet.
That's
me.
what I'm thinking,
See,
right?
but here's the story. There's a whole backstory.
no,
to this.
this-
It
yeah,
started,
but this
it started
AJ
as a joke
Styles,
that I
though.
wasn't going to give him a too sweet. And this joke has gotten away from me. It's gotten away from us. It's taken a life of its own. Where our fan base is like half of it's invested in me,
20
not too
years.
sweet.
20 years of friendship.
And half it's invested in
20
him
years of
getting
friendship,
too
and you
sweet
won't
from
too sweet me.
So that's the pickle of it.
The
So
face
you
that runs the
will
place is
not
too sweet me.
you will not too sweet him.
Yes. But I've kind of to carry on the joke, adopted a blanket no too sweeting policy.
He said I never too sweet, and I swear in college he was too sweet me.
But here's the thing.
Now he says he doesn't.
This
He's
is-
got gray
this is
hair,
what
he's
I'm
got, like,
thinking right
2
now,
kids.
AJ.
He's not too sweet.
And tell me if this is being a hypocrite.
Yes,
I know
it
his
is.
answer will be.
It is definitely.
I feel like if I too sweet you, but not him, and never too sweet him, it's just a heel turn on him.
A heel turn on him.
Yeah.
Because he's too sweet in somebody that isn't his best friend.
Yeah, exactly. And I can make a special case for the world champ, maybe. Might be able to justify that.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe when the camera goes off, we can throw it up. See what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Oh, we'll find out. Anyways, AJ,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
All right. Oh, we're going to be in Sacramento for No Mercy.
Yeah.
Triple threat.
We'll see you there.
Who do you
Oh,
got? Who
man.
do you got winning the main event?
Guess kidding me?
All right. Thanks, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate
AJ.
it.